The easiest thing I've done was to get out from under the labels.
Are you a success seeker?
The most difficult thing I've ever done was to believe that I can do it.
Do you go beyond boundaries? Are you open and ready for each opportunity?
People live their lives as a result of the story they believe about themselves.
Are you ready for this moment? To make it happen? Are you empowered to go beyond the call of duty? Are you alive right now? Do you feel your blood pumping through your veins? Can you do this? Is it worth it? Do you feel competent? This is your choice. Make it happen. Taste it, touch it, empowerment.
You have the power to do anything possible, the power to transform into somebody capable of anything you can imagine. This is the power you deserve. Let your success, let your mindset be the beginning.
Life is a fight for territory, and once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will automatically take over. We might not get everything that we fight for, but everything we get, it will be a fight.
Never should never exist in your world. If you want to improve, if you can see yourself being better, never should even be in the picture.
Do you feel it in your soul? Do you live this? Do you breathe this? Are you set and ready to go? Are you listening?
When something happens to you, you don't deny it, you defy it. And I was defiant that I'm going to beat this, I'm going to handle this.
Ready for competition? Do you have strength for growth? Are you present, correct, and set to win? Do you mix talent with sheer hard work? This is your choice. Make it happen.
Who many times when something happens to them, that they embrace it from a place of fear and it takes them out.
The journey doesn't end here. This journey doesn't end when the sun goes up, when the sun goes down. It doesn't end when you close your eyes. Doesn't end for 1 second, because hard work waits for nobody. Let yourself be heard. Let your power speak for itself. Let your beginning be the potential to take you further and further along your path to success.
Taste it. Touch it.
You are the only inspiration you need. You are the only force it takes to be someone more.
What gifts are you bringing?
Nietzsche said, if you know the why for living, you can endure almost anyhow.
Remember your worth as a person. Remember the possibilities of your power, the fruitful future that lingers over your shoulders.
This is your choice. Make it happen.
L.C. Robinson said, things may happen to you and things may happen around you, but the most important things are the things that happen in you.
Are you ready for the real you? This is your choice.
And you have to have an unstoppable attitude, and no excuse is acceptable. And you got to make it a priority, a non-negotiable in your life, and hold a constant vision of what it is you want to achieve.
This is where you never say never. Never say never to any possibility, to any opportunity, to any mistakes, to any fear. You say yes. This is the only way to grow.
See it accomplished and go all out. Find a way to win.
Make it happen. Taste it. Touch it.
Wake up with the drive to move forward. You think you're the best. You can be better.
In spite of the setbacks, in spite of the disappointments, in spite of your failures, you will fail your way to success.
Even the best can improve. Wake up tomorrow with a list of goals.
Life knocks you down trying to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up.
Goals that need to be accomplished. Goals that you've been putting off. goals that you will complete, finally satisfied.
Oliver Wendell Holmes said that once a man or woman's mind has been expanded with an idea, concept, or experience, it could never be satisfied to going back to where it was.
Picture that feeling, calm, empowered, motivated, with a drive to take a step forward. Break the fear of failure. Break down the limits. Fight the failure. Learn from the failure.
Deciding that you're going to live a life that will outlive you. You're going to live a life that counts, a life that will build a legacy and change the planet.
Don't wait for the opportunity. Make it. Open the door for yourself, not just now, but for your future, for you to become stronger. The willingness is here.
Horace Mann said, we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind.
The power to move on is here. Take this. Take this as a sign to move forward. Strengthen yourself. Inspire yourself. Motivate yourself. The time is now. Try not to waste another moment. Sleep without regret. Without the regret of wasting the day. Sleep without the regret of wasting the opportunity, the future. Remember, you are the director of your life. Don't let that slip away. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Failure fuels fire and desire within to pursue the dream. Power through the pain, power through the rejection. You are the power through this. Work harder. Be the better person. With this, you can move forward. You can make it. You can build. You can build to the person you want to be.
To that hunger-driven life is a heart-centered life. I didn't do what I'm doing for years because of my programming, because of the culture in which I was raised in. I would see other people with degrees and PhDs and MBAs and credentials I don't have, and I convinced myself I couldn't do it. But Mr. Washington, on that day, we became friends, and he taught me not only someone's opinion of you does not have to determine your reality. He said that you have to work on yourself and you have to have an unstoppable attitude, and no excuse is acceptable, and you've got to make it a priority, a non-negotiable in your life, and hold a constant vision of what it is you want to achieve.
I believe if you want to be the best at it, you've got to be obsessed by it, you've got to give your life it, you've got to live it, you've got to breathe it, you've got to be willing to go that extra mile just where certain people aren't willing to go. Losers always have an excuse. Everyone who loses or something, losers have excuses. You can sit around and wait for stuff to happen, or you can get out there and make things happen, and that is massively important in any walk of life. It don't matter who you are or what you do, you've got to get after it, you've got to chase it, you've got to make it happen yourself, because no one's going to get gifted to you. You're going to have to work for it, and those people who are working and those people who are just grinding and they are going the extra hour, doing the extra mile, they're the ones that are going to be at the top. Obsession is massively important in anything, not just fighting, just in any walk of life where you want to be successful. Is it worth it? Is the end goal worth all the hard work that you're putting through? Is it worth dragging yourself out of bed when your body's in pain? Is it worth getting in there and sparring with some guy who's probably a lot better than you, but you're trying to better yourself? Is it worth round 5 when you're exhausted and there's 30 seconds left and the fight's even? Is it worth pushing yourself that little bit extra Is it worth running an extra mile? Is it worth getting up at 6 in the morning doing hill sprints? Is it worth it? And the answer will always be, for me, yes.
Forget the things you can't control. Look for the moments you can control. Lose the times you can't control. Use the times you can control. This is your journey. This is your destiny. And either you wander aimlessly or you grab the wheel and take control of the ship. Either you head in the direction you want to go or you go in no direction at all.
Losers always have an excuse.
Most people allow life to happen to them. Their time runs like a sand timer. Life is happening to them. It isn't happening for them. Make life work for you. Make your time work for you. Do not allow your time to empty each day without achieving anything. Go into the world today and spend your time wisely. Make small wins every day that will lead you down the path to success. Motivation gets you started, but habit will keep you going. Motivation is great. It is like a coffee in the morning. It gets the engine going and gets you moving. But it is a habit that will develop your success.
I had to face my fears. I had to go to Thailand and train with these guys and fight them in Thailand because I thought maybe I'm not as good as I think. I thought there's only one way to find out. And go over there and then I just have to fight with them every time. I have to train with them every day. And by doing that, that brought me up to the next level. I went out there and I faced my fears, but look where it's got me now. It was like the end goal of all that was always more important than any fear that I ever felt.
Be brave, because no one remembers a coward. Be brave, be bold, be courageous, take risks, take chances, take opportunities. Grab life with both hands. Take the bull by the horns and live.
Losers always have an excuse.
I will not quit because I am better than that. I will not give in because I am powerful. I will not quit because I can succeed. I will not quit because quitting is not in my nature. I will not quit. I will never quit. I will never surrender.
You do have to do a bit of soul searching and you have to question yourself, but it all comes down to, is the juice worth the squeeze and is it worth putting everything else back in, or are you just going to quit and just let that be like that? It all comes down to that, and that's the most powerful weapon you've got. It's how bad do you want it, and how much can you let that control you or not control you. It was tough at the time thinking, oh, what am I doing, but I realised I'm doing it because I love it, and where I feel at home. That you can only be truly good at something that you love. So yeah, it is massively important to find something you truly, truly love.
We all know that we have one chance at life, so why not say, I'm all in? Why not risk everything to live the life you are capable of? The world wants the best version of you. So why are you denying the world of your gifts and talents? Why are you hiding in the shadows of other great people? You just need to decide. Decide to step up to the plate. Decide to step out of the shadow. Decide to let go of the fear you have. Decide to be great because you are capable.
I believe your mind's your strongest weapon, and your mind will give up before your body long ever does. You just need to tell yourself it won't. Like David Goggins and people like, look what they do with their body, and it's their mind that's making them do it. You know what, you've got like a devil and an angel on your shoulder all the time, and that devil just needs to knock it off, because you're always going to have these doubts. You know what, I come in here some days, I'll be training for a fight and I'll train 3 days in a row and I'll be on fire, and I'll have one bad day, which is expected when you're doing like an 8-week camp or anything like that. And you have one bad day, and that bad day outweighs the good 3 days by a mile, and I'll go home thinking, oh, I'm shit, what am I doing? what am I doing here? I'm going to get battered in this fight. But then you come back in the next morning, you have one good session again, and that doubt's gone again. So it's hard to get rid of them demons. And I think every top athlete will have some doubts always creep in, but it's the ones who just manage to just ignore them and knock them to one side and just think like, oh, it's part and parcel of it. You're always, no matter what you're doing, I'm pretty sure Usain Bolt must sometimes think, oh, what if Johnson or someone else beats me this race or something like that, you know? It must just creep in at some point, but they're so mentally strong, they just go, "Fuck, don't matter, it's gone," and then they'll be back to the tunnel vision. I think any athlete who says that they never have any sort of doubts, he's lying. I think everyone's got one that creeps in somewhere, but it's the ones who just manage to just push them to one side and keep the tunnel vision and keep the... What I do is I visualise after the fight. I don't visualise what's going to happen in the fight because I never know. I just always visualise what it's like to win after the fight, what I'll be doing after the fight, how I'll feel after the fight, and I think doing that always helps you stay mentally strong. I don't want to do something unless I'm the best at it. When I walked through this door, I did not want to just fight, to like turn up to fights and make up the numbers or anything like that. I wanted to be a champion, and that was that. And I'd always stay behind afterwards, and after the class I'd go on the bag upstairs on my own. I even used to stand in the mirror and like film myself on my old crappy phones and stuff, and like make sure my stance were okay and stuff like that. And I think even before that, even before camera phones were around, when I was about 13, 14, I used to use my digicam, my dad's recorder and stuff, and just film myself to make sure I thought my stance were okay and stuff like that. And that's like, I think, sort of mentality that takes you from being just a fighter to a champion. Obviously, as I got older and my friends are going out and stuff, I've had to miss a lot of things like parties and nights out and stuff like that, but I wouldn't change it for the world, you know. You can go out on the piss anytime, but like for the life I've led and the experiences I've had and stuff like that, I would not change a thing. I have sacrificed a lot and I probably missed out on a lot, but I've gained a lot more.
Today is your day to tell your story, to speak your mind, to tell the truth about your future, to speak about the power you've always had, the potential you've always had. This is how you succeed. You will be your power. You have this power. Communicate your problems. Communicate the power you know that you have. This is the beginning of your power, the start of your progress. Take every day as an opportunity to be better. Every day to have the power to try something new, to become something new. This is where your progress can be kickstarted. Accelerate your life into your direction. Your journey is the power you've earned. Now isn't the time to wait. Now isn't the time to waste. Let this be the power that takes you towards your success. This is the opportunity you've earned. This is the potential you've always had. Step out of the crowd and step into your success.
Social media is a great platform to tell you who we want to be, not who we are. How you address it is you face it. You face it every day. You face it every single day of your life, where you say, okay, like if you're fat and you need to lose weight, it's patience. It's patience in this fact of accepting who you are right now. I'm fat, I don't like myself. Accepting the fact that if you lose 3 or 4 pounds, that's a huge accomplishment. You have to live in your own world. You cannot judge yourself. That's why social media and all these things are horrible. You can't judge yourself off of the so-called competition that we have made up in our mind. The things that, how people look, how people act, how smart someone is. This is a race that you run completely alone. A lot of folks talk so much about, hey, I'm gonna change your life. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Are you accountable for what you're doing? Are you accountable, and I mean to the T, for what you're saying? I am, and that's where it started. It started with that total accountability of, let's not lie today. Let's tell people the truth about who you are. And when you can get on and tell someone, like I'm doing right now, exactly how f***ed up you are, that's the goal in life. To put your life on a billboard, on the busiest road, in the busiest highway in the world, and say, this is how f***ed up I used to be.
This is your future staring at you, face to face, waiting for the power to be granted to you. Your power is welcomed. welcomed by your progress that guides you towards your future. Be someone you can take pride in. Become someone you know that you can become. This is the journey you have, the journey you're on. Take the first step towards success. Take the first leap of faith into the risks of your life. Push past the limits. Move toward a future you can imagine, a future you've designed. This is your power. Let this be the moment you remember. Show yourself as the rocket in your own life. This is the journey you're on. You control the progress you make. You strengthen the path that transforms you into the person you've been waiting to become, the person that allows you to become someone new. You have the skills to be more, the strength to grow faster, the power to be stronger. The journey you've waited for is here for you to be something better. This is the opportunity in front of you.
Life made you this way. We can't live like this. We can't live in fear. We can't live in judgment. We can't be afraid of what the people right now are looking at me saying about me. We cannot be afraid of that.
I will fail and I will fall, but I will never surrender. I will never give in. It is not in my character to give up. You need to have faith. You need to believe. You need to trust the process. If you keep going and if you never give in, you will make it. The desire to win is important, but the rule to never quit is the thing that will lead you to true success. Never giving in, never surrendering. When times get hard, it is this that will get you through the hard times, so long as it keeps you moving. If it knocks you to the floor, it is the thing that will make you crawl. Not quitting means you will never stop. It means that you will work every day on your dreams. It is this consistency that leads to winning. It is this consistency that leads you to excellence.
You have to first accept it before you can fix it. A lot of people walk around, oh man, I'm good. I'm good. No, you're not. You have to accept what you're not. You have to, and people don't want to do that. And that's the only way you can fix it. You have to accept it first before you can go on the journey. A lot of folks never even start the journey, man. They never start the journey because they live in this fake life that who they want to be, they act like they are, but they're not because they haven't fixed all this stuff yet. You got to fix this first before we can start our journey in life. So that's why I have them make this list. You fix these problems, now your journey can begin because you no longer care about how people are judging you. When you care more about how someone's judging you, you're going to stay right there. There's no forward momentum. Worst thing that could ever happen to any human being is they become civilized. It's that total accountability. Like even when you retire, there's a mother looking at me and judging me right now, man. I was the baddest person to ever live. It doesn't go away, man. You got to wake up. Even though you retired, you never retired. You're setting the example every single day of your life. And being civilized feels so good. I'm sorry, man. Once you get to the top, you may retire, but you ain't never coming back home, man, because now you're judged. People see you falling off. You want to be that guy who knows I may be retired from the sport or wherever I did, but I'll be damned if you ever see me looking like shit, feeling like shit, not arriving. People, I've arrived. I've arrived mentality. You're always setting the example. Civilization feels so good. These comfortable feelings are what people want. They want retirement. They want that. They need that. It's a yearning feeling. I want it too. People love putting a label on me about, my God, man, you're just wired different. I'm not wired different, dude. I'm thinking right now, after I got past my stuttering thing, now I'm on a roll, I'm good now. You know what I'm thinking about right now? I gotta wake up tomorrow and do the same shit again. I gotta leave this interview and go stretch out for 2.5 hours. I hate that shit. But guess what it does though? I'm constantly callousing over my victim's mentality that I once had growing up. Every day you have to do this. Because why? When you stop doing it, you don't just maintain it. If you stop shooting a gun, you're not going to be a great shot when you pick a gun up a year from now. The only way to keep from getting rusty is to constantly oil that machine. The machine is this. You got to keep challenging every day.
The power to be someone more can come from any branch of your life. We all have it. We all carry it with us every day. It's those who choose to ignore it, those that decide to hold negativity in their hands instead, that's where they fail. But not you. You are stronger than anything put in front of you. Your inspiration holds dominance in your life, dominance that allows you to be much more, dominance that brings you closer towards the future you've waited for. Have the confidence to take action. Have the confidence to appreciate the decisions you make, to make every choice with the purpose to change, to improve. As a collective, a society, we all want similar things. We all want to succeed, to improve, to be better people. We all slip, but that's how life functions. That's the only way for us to learn. You can be more. You can have more.
Either somebody is in the midst of adversity, or just came out of adversity, or it won't be long before they head into adversity. So you need to be prepared either way. And so we all go through adversity, opposition. I think that's the thing that makes us all in common as people, right? No matter if you're from London, Atlanta, Florida, California, New York, like we're all going to go through something at some point or phase in our life. Right? And as cliche as it sounds, when the quote says, it's never about what happens to you, it's about how you respond to it. That's very true, right? But in the same sense, I think what's most important is when we go through something, what's the perspective that we have of it, right? Because for most people, when you go through something, the person's natural perspective is, okay, what did I lose, right? What happened to me? Like I took a loss, right? People never look at it and say, okay, man, tell me, what did you gain? Right? Even though I know it hurt, you didn't want to go through it, but look at it in a way to where you can say, what's the lesson in this? Right? What would you say life is trying to teach you from dealing with this? And so never allowing a situation or circumstance to define your life, and understanding that you got something inside of you that's greater than that situation or that circumstance, but you have to constantly believe it, and not only believe it, you have to make decisions and choices every single day to put you a step forward toward what you believe your destiny is. Like I firmly believe in life, it's a lot of moments and it's a lot of people that change and impact your life, right? Like I don't believe it's just one moment and you say, this one moment just changed my life. Even though that moment may have, but it's going to be another moment that's going to shape and change your life as well. Like my arm changed my life, my teacher changed my life.
It doesn't get any easier. You just get stronger. If you want to change, don't expect your life to stay the same. Expect it to get harder. Expect it to actually get really, really tough. Tougher than you can even imagine right now. And this is where you can move past the boundaries that used to hold you back, used to hold you by the neck. Now you can move towards the fulfillment that's your future. And this, you see, this is where you can finally feel the satisfaction of your work. This is when you finally get to feel that success. Now is the time for you to step up, stand out, and become the person you need to become. Your future is in your hands, and this is what sets your life up to be worth the potential that you deserve. Your power is and always has been the thing that's going to take you towards the life that you have earned. Don't fail yourself. Perseverance is the aspect that takes you towards a future worthy of your strength, worthy of your progress. So take pride in that more than anything. You have, and you always will have this potential to improve, this potential to adapt, and this potential to change.
For most people, man, you could be great, but you haven't even pulled a strip off to activate it, right? Like you can be great, but you're living on reserve. right? You didn't empty the bucket, right? You didn't give everything you had to every aspect of your life. Like for most people, they're great professionally, but they end up becoming a public success, and behind closed doors, they're a private failure. Not because they don't have the talent or the skill set, they don't have the character, right? That they can apply it and be consistent in every aspect of their life and empty out everything they got to everything, right? Now, one would say, okay, well, when do you tone it back, right? You find pockets to turn it back, right? Of course, you don't just give everything you got all the time, right? You get to a point to where you learn to be efficient and effective in every aspect of your life. And for most people, it's not a problem of skill set. It's a problem of character. And empty the bucket is having the right character to be consistent and empty out everything you got in every aspect of your life. I think, man, it's funny. I think the true measure of wealth is happiness, right? Like I really do. And that's not saying that I'm against money. I'm not against that at all. Because you gotta work hard, make your money to take care of your family and be able to bless people. But I think it's a lot of people with so-called wealth and they don't have joy and they don't have happiness, right? And I feel like joy, happiness is peace is the most important things we can possess, right? And for most people, their material possessions, they feel are the most important. For me, when you got joy, when you got peace, when you got happiness, I think that's true wealth, because you can't put a price on that. And I firmly believe the quicker you can shift your perspective from yourself to others when you're in the midst of adversity, the quicker you'll get through it, right? Martin Luther King has a quote that says, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing to help other people? Now, I'm not telling you to not acknowledge your pain. I'm not saying that. I'm not telling you not to say, man, I'm going through this and it's hard. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you go through it, look at it, step back from the picture and say, okay, I'm dealing with this. 9 out of 10 times, there's somebody else that's either dealt with it or they're gonna deal with something similar to this. And if I deal with it in the right way, I can use it to add value to lives of other people. When we go through a situation and circumstance, it's easy to step back and think, man, I just went through this and it's just my experience. I firmly believe when we go through things, it's for us to deal with it, get over it, and reach back over the hill to help another person. And a lot of times, like you said, when you're trying to work through it, you think, man, how can I help somebody? And I'm trying to get through it myself, right? And that's a great perspective, right? But when you get through it, right, maybe you can't help them when you're in the midst of it because you're processing it. But when you get over the hill, I think it's important and I think it's vital that you reach back over the hill and help somebody that may be going through a similar situation, and you can share your values and principles with them, because that experience that we go through and we deal with is not just for us. Man, I think the greatest gifts in life, man, is belief and exposure, right? Because a lot of times, for me personally, the reason I say that is there was a lot of moments in my life to where it was people that saw things in me that I couldn't see in myself. And they believed in me in a way that I couldn't believe in myself yet. And I rented their level of belief until I got strong enough to possess my own, right? It's like when you're young and they see you, and it's like even when you start out doing what you're doing, you could be talented, right? And somebody older than you or more experienced than you can see you and know like, oh man, if he did this, or if he does this, man, he could be great, right? And they can come to you and say, hey kid, man, you got something. Like you could be great, right? Like my teachers and my coaches, when they came to me and they was like, son, I'm telling you, like you could go to college, man. Like you really, I know you're talking about it, but your circumstances are saying different. I think you can do it, right? And when they said it, I'm like, oh, I can do it. Like I can make it happen. Because they're believing in me making it happen, I think I can do it. So I think belief, and the reason I say exposure is because like I think when you show people things, that's powerful. I think exposure sparks inspiration, right? Exposure sparks motivation. The reason that I think belief is important is because like when you're young or when you do something and you're a novice, right? And you start out doing it, and you might think you can do something with it, or you might not. You might do it and it's being driven by your passion. And then somebody comes along that's a little bit older or even more experienced, and they can see it in a way that you can't see it, right? And so I think it's important with belief, because if a person believes in you in a way that you don't believe in yourself, you can rent that person's belief until you get strong enough to possess your own, right? And you use that person's belief to fuel you every single day, right? Because you can have a level of belief with what you're doing, but you can go back to a certain set of circumstances that tell you, nah, it's not gonna happen. And so you rent that person's belief until you get strong enough to possess your own. If I get to the end of my life, and you know, I'm an old guy at the time, and I'm sitting back in a rocking chair on my porch with my wife, and got a head full of gray hair, and our kids come up, and we're just chilling out, and I've accomplished a lot, and my wife is sitting there, and my son and my daughter comes up, and they say to me, like, Dad, man, you accomplished a lot. Like, you're a great player, you've done well speaking, but we feel like you're a terrible father. Right? Like, what would it be worth for me to accomplish, gain, give them certain things, and suck as a father? Right? My wife got me aside and said, hey man, you've done really well in speaking and like your athletic ability, but you're a terrible husband. What would it be worth? Right? And so for me, I feel like the greatest gift I could ever give to my children is showing them that I honor, love, respect, and admire their mother, right? The greatest thing that I could ever give to my children also is not something that I can give to them. It's the things that I will leave in them, the principles, the values, the guide, how you treat people, how you live your life, how you make decisions and choices. And so family is something that's very important to me, right? To be honest, I don't think a person, you know how a lot of times we consider someone to be great, right? So that guy's great, right? Like for me, the true measure of greatness is if you can reproduce it in your family, like with your children, right? If one day your children come up and they're great, not great in athletic ability, no, great people.
You're fidgety and you're waiting for 10,000 years. What does it mean? It means nothing. It just means you're wasting your time. Waiting is a quality that you simply wait. You can only wait upon somebody or something when you do not think much of yourself. If you're absolute nothing, you can wait on anything. If you think too much of yourself, you cannot wait upon anything or anybody. You will see, the more educated people become, the more affluent people become, they cannot wait. People who don't think much of themselves, you ask a villager comes here, you tell him just wait, he'll simply sit there whole day. But you ask an educated man to wait, in a minute he will look at his watch 5 times because he cannot wait, because he thinks too much of himself. One who does not think much of himself can simply wait. If you understand the proportion of who you are in this existence, you would know there was no other way than to wait. Right now, when I say the proportion, you are a speck compared to the cosmos, isn't it? You better wait. If you don't know how to wait, you will know nothing. Because your proportion in relation to the existence is too small, there's nothing you can do. Is there something you can do? If you hop around, what do you get? You get nothing. You can earn hypertension, but nothing else you'll get. So I am not asking you to wait. There is simply nothing else to do. It's not my idea that you should wait. If you could go and get it, I would say go get it. You can't go and get it, so you better wait. Right now, look at your position in the existence. Are you capable of anything else than to wait? Are you, I'm asking? With reference to the existence, are you capable of doing anything else except waiting? That's all you can do. At least do it joyfully, just to wait. So waiting is not about time, waiting is a certain quality, it's a certain way of being. And that is only possible when you understand your proportion in the existence. If you have funny ideas in your head, you cannot wait. You have exaggerated sense of who you are, you cannot wait. If you think you're a king, you cannot wait. When you see the reality of who you are in this existence, only then you can wait. Waiting comes because you have perceived the reality the way it is. You're unable to wait because your mind is full of fancifulness. Perception will naturally lead to waiting. First of all, you must understand what is inside, okay, and what is outside. If you do not understand what is inside and outside, then you will go to all the wrong places. Now, what is inside? Your body, accumulated over a period of time, yes or no? What you accumulate can be yours, cannot be you. Is that much clear? Whatever it may be. What you accumulate can be yours, cannot be you. So this body is an accumulation. What you call as my mind, the whole content of the mind is accumulated depending upon what you're exposed to in your life. So your body is a heap of food, small or big. Your mind is a heap of impressions, again small or big. Between these two heaps, where the hell are you? So first determine what is inward, outward. Everything is outward right now. The world is outside, body is also external material, all the material in the mind also is external. You know you have a body, you believe you have a mind, but to some extent you know. But rest is belief, yes or no? Yes. I'm not questioning whether it's true or false, let's not go there at all. But it's belief, it's not yet in your experience. If you talk about something which is not yet in your experience, to put it bluntly, you're just a bloody liar. So, let's not talk about something that is not in your experience. Right now, your body is in your experience to some extent, your mind is in your experience to some extent, rest you don't know. But we can infer. If I have to accumulate this much body, if I have to accumulate this much mind, something more fundamental must be there. We don't know what the hell it is. For now, we will call it you. How you will go into yourself? I'm asking. You can go into this hall, you can go out of this hall. How will you go into yourself, I'm asking? Saying, let's leave this is not the way. You do this way. What is not you? All those things you keep it aside. Before today, before you go to bed, everything that's not you, keep it aside. They may be precious to you. Everything that's not you, keep it in one heap. Not physically, just do this mentally. Keep everything aside. Let me see. Every day you practice this. One day when you successfully keep everything aside that you are not, what you are will be there. We have too many ideas about things that we have not seen. It's a big problem. If you go by your present perception, you'll get all the wrong conclusions. So don't be in a rush to make conclusions. Let's pay a little more attention. You are a worthwhile life which deserves some attention, isn't it? Don't seek other people's attention. Your own attention, doesn't this life deserve attention? Pay attention to this, enough attention, everything will be clear. If you do not know, it's not a problem. If I say I do not know, the possibility of knowing is always there, isn't it? If I do not know and I think I know, then I've destroyed all possibilities. So, we have arrived at many things. We know, in every culture they know what is the nature of God, where He resides, how the ambience is there and the works, you know. Everybody knows the geography of the heaven, isn't it, don't you? But you don't know a damn thing about yourself. It's time we paid attention, because everything you know it only the way it's projected in the firmament of your mind. You don't know anything any other way, yes or no? So, what you need to fix is, you are seeing everything in a mirror of your mind, and the mirror is wonky. First fix it. First thing is to make it stable, flat, proper plane mirror, so that you see everything the way it is. Does a plane mirror show you everything the way it is? Everything reverse, you know. Then you will have to flip it. Now, to flip the whole universe, the whole life that is reflecting in your mind, to flip it over without shattering it into pieces will take much more. But the first thing is to level out the mirror so that it shows you everything the way it is, not some other way. Right now, everything is seen depending upon how you're identified with something. Every identity has distorted the mirror of your mind, and it shows you things in completely different way than the way it is. First thing is, stop talking about things that you do not know. Talk about something that you know, and then the longing to take the next step will become strong. Whatever you're deprived of, you think that is the highest thing. Whatever you don't have, looks like at that moment, that is the highest thing. Because whatever at that moment you're deprived of, that takes on enlarges itself in such a way, it blocks everything out. Or in other words, when you're in any state of compulsiveness, you don't see anything the way it is, it gets exaggerated. So just about anything, when you're in a state of compulsiveness, you don't see anything the way it is. Life will get distorted to make you think that that is it at that moment. So like this, human life passes from one compulsive state to another, never allowing yourself that little bit of space where you could see things the way they are. If you do not even see life the way it is, can you handle it the way it needs to be handled? It doesn't arise, isn't it? If you don't see things the way they are, you can never handle it the way it needs to be handled. Because of this, in many ways, individual human lives and whole societies have become distorted humanity. This idea, this horribly limiting idea has been imposed into our youth that you must earn a living, and that's the biggest thing. It's this big brain, earning a living is actually a problem on this planet. I know everybody's been conditioned to believe that. It is not so, I'm telling you. Earning a living is a petty thing for human consciousness, but unfortunately, whole humanity is investing all its energies and intelligence in just earning a living. If this one thing does not change in the world, that… I'm not saying one should not, all I'm saying is, it need not occupy the entirety of human consciousness to earn a living. If you put one little finger to work, it'll earn a living. It's capable, this is capable of that. All human genius has been smothered to death simply because everybody is thinking how to earn a living, how to earn a living, you know. The moment they can earn a living, they will sit down and become fat. You must be saying, what can I do with this life, isn't it? Yes, you must be saying, what is the greatest thing I can do with this life? Because one day you'll fall dead, do you know? Do you know you'll fall dead one day? So before you die, whatever is the peak possibility for this life should happen, isn't it? I earn my living, I earn my living. This is a big pride. Why don't you see every insect, every worm, every bird, every animal, every creature on this planet is earning a living? What is there to be so proud of about I earn my own living? Everybody's earning their own living, isn't it? Only human beings are making a big issue out of it. Too big an issue. When I look at it, how human intelligence has been sacrificed at the altar of earning a living is unbelievable. How many things human beings could have done, how many incredible things they could have done, but instead of that they're earning a living. So it's very, very important. I'm just thinking we should start a wave, particularly in schools and colleges, that earning a living is a damn little thing. It is not the prime of your life. With one little finger you can earn a living. With this big brain, when an ant can earn its living, this big brain, should it struggle to earn a living? That has become a problem because you want to be like somebody else, isn't it? You want to be like somebody else. That enslaves you. And once you're into this chakra, nothing else is possible, it just keeps you going and going and going endlessly. This is about realizing the full potential of what it means to be human.
Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll, I am the master of my fate, I'm the captain of my soul.
Breathe in bravery, breathe out fear.
Stay dedicated.
Don't give up on your pursuit because of setbacks. Don't stop because of failures. Don't quit because it is getting hard.
Don't expect everything to fall into place immediately. It's better to keep taking smaller steps every day than taking extreme steps every now and again.
Breathe in bravery, breathe out fear.
Dedication doesn't have an off-season. Are you scared of failure? Scared to seem like the weakest? Don't be afraid to take a step back, because that step back could be 2 steps forward. Don't strive to be the best in one day. Strive to be a little better every day. Run the race for you, not for approval, for your life to finally change. Change for you. Change so your life can move up to the next level.
Breathe in bravery, breathe out fear. You will not stop me. No one can. Breathe in bravery, breathe out fear.
Your consistency and persistence to carry through the hard times, that's what pushes you forward.
Stay dedicated. Dedicated on what you're focused on. Dedicated on the life you've imagined for yourself. This isn't an off-season.
Why give in when it gets hard? Why?
You need to feel the pain. The pain you can rise above from. The pain you feel now will become the victory you feel tomorrow. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Breathe in bravery. Breathe out fear. Success comes at a price.
Talent never overrides hard work. People don't get to the top without putting in any work.
Don't say why me, say try me.
Rely on your strength to get through. Rely on your hard work to get through the rejection.
Stop wishing it was easier. Wish you were better. Breathe in bravery. Breathe out fear. If not me, who? If not me, who? I will get to the top.
You don't have to be extreme. You just have to be consistent.
This storm will pass, and when it does, if you are still standing, you will be stronger for it.
Move past just your talent. Be more than that.
Thinking by Walter D. Wintle. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you'd like to win, but you think you can't, it is almost a cinch you won't. If you think you'll lose, you've lost. For out in this world we find success begins with a person's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you're outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win the prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man. But sooner or later the person who wins is the one who thinks he can.